Hi, my name is Kath. I'm doing an LDN Awareness video. This is number 2, by the way. Now, I don't know if you've heard of low dose naltrexone, but it's a tiny little amount of medicine that literally rebalances your immune system and triggers off 3 times the amount of endorphins your body usually produces while you sleep. So you have a feel-good factor with it. It's cheap, widely available, and I can let you know where to get it anywhere on the planet. It's not being passed by trials from drug companies because they won't put up the money, because it's been passed in high doses to treat alcoholism and drug addiction, to help with the withdrawal symptoms, and if you take it, it's like a timed released naltrexone. So whenever if you had a drink or had some drugs or whatever, you'd feel really sick and nauseous, and you wouldn't be feeling very well at all. That would put you off trying to have a drink or a drug or whatever. But in low doses, that would be in 50 milligrams or 50 milligrams or mils and above. We take 4.5 mils and below. The highest maximum amount is 4.5 because this is low dose naltrexone. It hasn't got any timed release in there. It's just normal naltrexone. And taken in low doses, anything from 0.5, 0.25 mils or milligrams, or I did 0.5 to start with, and it absolutely, well, after 2 days of taking it, all my brain fog lifted. I could talk, I could speak again. I couldn't talk before. Well, I could talk, but nobody could understand me, it was just unbelievable. I heard about it from a friend who unfortunately she died about 3 years ago now, but I made a promise to her that if LDN worked for me, I would pay it forward for as long as I'm able, and this is what I'm doing, these LDN awareness videos. The thing is that the only way you're ever going to hear about it is by word of mouth, and that's how all of us who are using it now, and there's hundreds of thousands of us using it now worldwide, it's not harmful. It is such a tiny amount that if you imagine a spoon, a teaspoon, I'll do this one day on a video and show you, but if you imagine a teaspoon you get for cough mixture, that's 5 mils. Well, we take 4 mils and below, so you can imagine a 0.5 mils is just like a tiny little dot on the bottom of the spoon, and that was what first, that was the amount I first used to take for the first 3 weeks, and in those 3 weeks I had all my brain fog lift. This is 0.5 mils, remember, a tiny amount. I could say sentences again, I could talk, I wasn't stuttering. I used to really stutter a lot. I had a lot of trouble getting diagnosis all through my life. I was wrongly diagnosed, first of all in 1990 with a stroke, and that turned out to be not a stroke at all, but I was ill for 5 years, blind for 2 months. Our little girls were 18 months and 8 years old at the time. I was 36. Now they're 25, 26 and 32. So a long time ago. But that was the first one. And then in 2008 I had another one, and I'd actually done my nurse training now. I was working as a nurse in the transplant unit of a heart and lung hospital, very prestigious hospital. In 2008, I started in 2007, January, 2008, July, I had what we thought was another stroke. All my left side was affected. I couldn't tell if it was hot. I would feel it as lukewarm. That's one of my cats, by the way. I would feel it as lukewarm. Come on, Oliver. Come on in. cold would be really painful to my skin. And I rang up the NHS Direct, and I got the doctor to come, and the NHS doctor told me to do this ice cube test. So I did that, and I found that wherever I put the ice cube on my left side of my body, it was a 10 out of 10 pain, and it was unbelievable. And yet if I put it on the right hand side of my body, it was just like cold. So I knew there was something definitely going on, and I didn't know what it was. So we went to A&E and got checked out. They said it was viral neuropathy, and to go and see my doctor in the morning. So I did that, and I went to see the doctor. He said, oh, he's going to send me to a general neurologist, which he did, Dr. Peatfield. I went to see him. Dr. Peatfield said that he thought I'd had another stroke, actually, and he'd give me loads of tests, vascular tests, to find out why. But all the tests came back negative. He said, you haven't had a stroke. He said, the last one now, he said, this was just at the end of 2008, I think December. I went in for a lumbar puncture at Charing Cross Hospital. The results were that I've got multiple sclerosis, and I've had it for a long time. Anyway, went back to my neurologist. He said to me, he's really sorry, but I'd got relapsing and remitting MS, and that's why I fully recovered. In 1919, it wasn't a stroke, it was an MS episode. So I said, right, okay. Well, to be honest, I was devastated. Like, at first, I don't know how anybody else gets around that sort of like, you've got a diagnosis and there's no cure, you know, that sort of thing. But it was relapsing and remitting, and I was sort of stable-ish now. I'd done my nurse training and everything, so I was happy. But I had 6 months off this time. After the 6 months, I went back at stage return, and then in the 2009, I suppose it was about March, when I told them that I'd got, I found out in the February, and I told them in the March that I'd got relapsing and remitting multiple sclerosis. And then in the August, I went in after doing my full remit and getting right back up to where I was, doing things like 17,000 steps a day on my pedometer, working really hard. I loved the job as well. And I went in one day and they said, you've been dismissed. You're on oh, I forgot what they call it now, but suspended leave, in full pay, and I was sent home, and I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely so shocked, you know. I had patients asking for me to look after them, you know. It was just crazy. I was absolutely in bits, and then I went right downhill after the shock from that. And I was then in a wheelchair. I was incontinent. I couldn't get out of bed at night, due to having to get my husband up to help me out of bed, to get into the loo, to go to the toilet, to get back into bed. Oh, nightmare. But anyway, my neurologist wrote lots of letters for me, saying how disgusted he thought it was that I'd got up to my full remit, and there was no reason that they should have sacked me, you know. But in hindsight, I'm glad they did now, because all the stuff that happens to me has led me to where I am today, which I believe I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing, and that is making people aware of LDN by word of mouth. So this is why I do these videos. But anyway, my neurologist said that I'd progressed into secondary progressive now, and there was nothing they could do, and he was really sorry, but he was going to pass me on to a MS specialist consultant, because he said, I've given you everything I can give you that I know about. He said, now you need to go on to like an MS specialist, really. So off I went, and thank goodness I did, because after getting my secondary progressive diagnosis, I went to Dr. Magic Malik, we call him, and he took 5 minutes looking at my MRI scans and my medical history, and he said to me, you haven't got relapsing or remitting or secondary progressive MS, is you've got something called tumefactic MS, which is a very rare form of MS, which appears like round black holes in my head. They are lots of times they're mistaken for tumours or for abscesses in the brain, and if they don't realise that it's tumefactic MS, then they'll drill through your skull to see if they can get anything out, and if they don't get anything out, it's an MS episode, and if they do get something out, it's an abscess or something, you know. But anyway, I was lucky enough not to have that drilled through my head, because my neurologist, he knew what this was straight away when he saw it. And so now he says to me, can you think of any time when you can go back to when you had something happen that wasn't sort of like, you didn't think it was strange or not normal? And I said, oh yeah. I said, when I was 15, I was at my first job, because we left school at 15 then, and I was at my first job, and I was an office junior, and I suddenly had a numb tongue. It was the most weirdest sensation, and I could talk, but it was like really weird talking. And they put me down in the rest room downstairs in a little room that had a bed in it, the first aid room. And I waited there until about 5:30 when my mum came from work and picked me up in the car. Went to the doctors the next day, and she said, yeah, I think that's migraine. So they gave me migraine tablets. I didn't have a headache, by the way. I just had a numb tongue. Anyway, then that took about, I don't know, I suppose it was about a week or so. And then it went, and then I felt fine. And that was one of my first episodes, but I think I had one when I was 11 as well. But I fell off a horse and banged my head, and saw stars, but I didn't tell my mum because I shouldn't have been playing in the horse's field. Oh dear. But anyway, this LDN is not a cure. It treats so many autoimmune conditions, all types of MS, Crohn's, encephalitis, brain damage, autism, so many, I can't think of them all, Graves' disease, fibromyalgia, ME, do you know, there's so many, I just can't go off and talk to them all. If you go onto the LDN users chit chat group on Facebook, I can help you there. I'm very new to this, doing YouTube, and I'm not quite there yet, but I will get there one day. Anyway, also the LDN Research Trust site on Facebook, run by Linda Elsgood, is a really good place to go for information. That's where I got all my information from, and there's testimonials from hundreds of people with all different types of autoimmune diseases, and they are all giving what their finding of taking LDN and what they felt like, their symptoms and everything else, and what happened to them. And there's been no fatalities at all taking LDN. It's cheap. It cost me £18.50 for a month's supply, and I get it sent to me by Dixon's Chemist of Glasgow. I have to send them a prescription from Magic Malik. He gives me a 6 months prescription. I just send that to them, and then they ring you up and get your card details and take £18.50 a month out of my account, and then they deliver it to my door via Royal Mail, and it comes through the letterbox and lands on my floor every month. How easy and convenient is that? But you have to, as I said, you have to have a prescription for it. Anyway, people can get them off their doctors, they can get them off of their neurologists or their specialists, but they don't know about LDN, and the people that are using LDN are educating the medical profession about it. We are doing this by word of mouth. Now, the group that when I joined, there was only something like 200 people. I might be thinking of another one, I don't know, but I think it's this one. And then when I actually joined, there's now 11,000, over 11,000 of us on that one site. I know that there's over 15,000, 17,000 on another LDN site. And I know that There's 17,000 in Finland, and over 100,000 of us worldwide. Now, there's only something like 57 people with tumor-factic MS like me. Mine is very rare, and there would be no research being done about my type of MS because there's not that many of us that have got it. But on hindsight, it works. It works for mine. So and it works for secondary progressive, primary progressive, PP, all of the MS types. It works also for some cancers, and HIV, AIDS. I think it works for as well. But it works for all these different things because the way that it works. Let me explain. The way that it works is I get mine made up from the chemist. It comes already mixed up into sort of a compound, and you get a syringe that you can, an oral syringe that you can sort of get the right amount. And I was on 3 milligrams. I built my way up to 3 milligrams, taking 3 weeks at every stage of 0.5 mils, and 3 weeks, and then I'd go up another 0.5 mils until I reached 3, and then I went up to 3.5. And then I started getting some aches in my joints and stuff, and I didn't really feel right. So I dropped down on the LDN to, I think I went down to 1 mil. Yeah, I did, and then I started feeling much better. I'm still on the 1 mil. I started about 2-3 weeks ago now, 2 weeks ago, and this is my 2nd week. So I shall do another video. I'm still taking 1 mil. And then after the next one, I shall go up by 0.5 mils to 1.5 until I get up to 3 mils again. I think that was my optimum amount. Everybody's different, and some people can just tolerate 1 mil an evening. You have to take it between 9 at night and 3 in the morning. That's because the way it works is while your body's sleeping, you're naturally triggering off endorphins. And this LDN makes you trigger off 3 times the amount of those endorphins, and it covers the opiate receptors, so that if you're taking morphine or anything that's opiate based, it won't work as well. It won't do you any harm, but it just won't work as a painkiller. So if you were going to the dentist, say, or in for an operation, something like that, you would come off of LDN about a couple of weeks or so before you were going for an operation, using that type of medication to as an analgesic, because the receptors are being covered, so therefore they can't get any morphine or whatever down there, or any opiate based drug to work. It does actually work with because they told me that it wouldn't work with tramadol, but tramadol is not it's a synthetic tablet. It's not the real thing, but so therefore you can take it. And drinking as well is another personal thing. Some people, they can drink fine. They have like a glass of wine, or they drink beer, whatever. I found that when I went out and had a drink, I had a great time. But when I got home, I'd be as white as a sheet and feel really nauseous. And I thought, oh, it must be because I'm taking it at night. So I started an experiment, and I started taking it in the morning. And I did that for about 3 months. But it made no difference at all. When I went out and had a drink, I just felt rotten. So I gave up drinking. Some people didn't, some people don't. Some people have, still drink on it, but I don't. I do occasionally now have a lager, and that's me done. I'm very cheap date. But yeah, so that's fab. Anyway, now where was I? Now, what has happened to me so far is I feel like my old self before MS, which is amazing, because I think once you get that diagnosis, you're not the same person. You have to grieve for the person that you were before you can actually accept who you are now. And I love who I am now. I think I am stronger for it. I know what my little niche in life is now, and I thought it was becoming a nurse. I thought that was it, but nah, it's be an LDN awareness advocate, and so I'm really happy. I've had many premonitions in my life. They've all come true, and I know that we're going to have loads of people are going to try this out, because it's non-harmful. You can try it out, and if you don't like it, don't stop it, you know what I mean? But you really should give it a go. The doctors don't want you to take it because their reps, or their drug reps, won't do a trial on it, because they won't make their initial outlay back for the millions of pounds it costs to do a trial. So we're going to have to get the government involved in putting forward for a trial and get them to pay for it. But I mean, if they did pay for it and had it on the NHS, it would save billions and billions of pounds, so you wouldn't have to take any of these DMDs, disease modifying drugs, which I was offered. I actually chose not to. It has to be a personal choice. You have to do your own research. I'm not saying that, you know, you shouldn't take any notice of your doctor because they don't know anything about LDN. I am saying, unless they're LDN aware, don't take any notice of them, because they don't know, and listen to the people that know all about it, which are the people that you have been using it. One of the over 11,000 people, we can tell you how to use it, where to get it from, how to get it. If you haven't got a doctor that will prescribe it, we know of doctors who will, as long as you can confirm your diagnosis, they will give you like a Skype interview or whatever over the phone. I think you have to pay for that though. I'm not sure. I don't pay for mine because it comes from my neurologist, and he actually had quite a few people with MS on the LDN, and he was like LDN aware, which I'm so happy about, and which is why I ended up going to him, you know, and I didn't go to him first, because if I'd gone to him first, I never would have got how bad I had got. As I was telling you before, I had like incontinence. I was in my wheelchair. I couldn't transfer from one chair to another without aid. Aid. My husband's called Aid, Adrian. But anyway, then I found that I felt that pain. It helps with pain, with gaits, with walking, with incontinence, with allergies. It helps with so many things. Memory and cognitively, it helps you to remember where you are in a conversation, and not have to have your husband sort of finish off the sentence for you, like I had to have done. Anyway, I'm going to round this up now because it's getting on. I don't think there's anything else I can tell you at this moment, but what I will do is the next one I do, I will get my LDN and I'll show you exactly what I'm talking about with a spoon, and show you exactly how much it is, and all that. But I can't do that at the moment because I've only just thought of it, so I'll wait until next time. Anyway, my name's Kaths. I'm your LDN advocate awareness person, and if you'd like to contact me, please do, either via this Twitter or YouTube, whatever it is, but also I'm a more a sort of a Facebook person, and if you contact the LDN users chit chat group, Kaths Evans, CATHS Evans, I'll be able to explain more and put you in touch with people to answer the questions that you've got. And as I said, there's been no fatalities. It's harmless. It's they give it to children. They give it to breastfeeding mothers, and the children, all the children, and for infertility clinics, they use it there too. And it's harmless, and all the children have been born to the mothers that were taking LDN have all been healthy, born healthy and fabulous. So there we go. I do still take other drugs with this, but I'll tell you about those later. A lot of people are just taking LDN. Because I was taking so many drugs before, I am tapering them down, but you can't just stop things that you're on. You have to taper them down and stuff like that. So I'm in the process of doing that, but I'm not taking less than I ever took before. My LDN and my Sativex and my Modafinil and clonazepam, and plus all my normally stuff like vitamin D, 5,000 units a day I take of that, and other stuff like your multivitamin and cranberry capsule, which is 3 times the amount, so that that helps you with urinary tract problems. Anyway, I'm going to stop there, and I wish you all well. Please do research it for yourself. Don't take my word for it, and make up your own mind. There's also another group that is an amazing group to join, which is called the, let me see if I can get this right, it's called the MS Warriors plus AI, that's autoimmune, and supporters group, and that deals with not people with just MS but people with any autoimmune disease. And they're supporters, so it's fine. It's a fabulous group, and everybody has a good time there. So if you could just take a minute and research into it yourself, and you'll find that you'll be amazed, I'm sure. Okay, this is me signing off for now. Thank you very much. Thank you for watching. See ya. Goodbye. Goodbye.